Hello and welcome, guys, to my Twitter space. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Some of you guys know me as an actor, rightly so, pinned on my Twitter profile. Actor, geneticist, comedian and all that. But before all that, I studied agricultural sciences. My bachelor's degree was in agricultural sciences at Olabisi Onabanjo University. It used to be Ogun State University, but then became Olabisi Onabanjo University. And my master's degree in animal genetics is from the University of Ibadan. Yes, so that's that. Of course, I have years of experience in farming, both plant and animal agriculture. I'm very passionate about farming. I'm very passionate about Nigerian agripreneurs, and I believe they hold a future in their hands. Please, ground rules as we start today. I know Twitter can be a bit crazy, Please, ground rules, though, I beg. This is not a political platform. This forum is not a political forum. No campaigns for any politician or political party or personal issues. Don't bring your personal issues here to tackle someone. We're strictly talking about agribusiness in Nigeria, the opportunities, the challenges, and the solutions. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about right now is that from my years of experience in farming, both in school and on the field, please, I can't overemphasize what I'm about to say. If you want to go into agriculture, practice market-oriented agriculture. What am I saying? Market-oriented agriculture or agribusiness. If you're not planning to just plant for yourself and your family to consume, please, agriculture is serious business. Make sure there's a market for what you're about to produce. Don't go into production, get loans, save up your money, dive onto the field, and start producing what nobody is asking for. Please, it's agricultural suicide. Don't do it. In fact, in any business, it cuts across all businesses. Don't produce for Mr. Nobody. There's a guy called Mr. Nobody. If he doesn't want your produce or your product, don't do it. Make sure there's a market. Do your market research. Let me tell you a little story. Many years ago, when I came back from my NYSC, I served in Kogi State, by the way, Osara. I had a beautiful experience there. Shout out to all my Osara people. All my Kogi people, you guys are wonderful, I learned a little bit of Ibira there, When I was there, I learned, a lot of lessons. And one of the lessons is that don't produce until you've done your market research. So when I came back from my NYC, I was in Ibadan, because that was where I was living at that time. I wanted to have a poultry farm. The first thing I did was the street where I'm going to be selling the produce. How many egg sellers are there? Because my target was producing eggs for that community in Ibadan. The first thing I did was I took a piece of paper or a jotter or a diary, whatever it was, a writing material. I picked up my pen, walked around as many streets around where I was as possible. The first thing I did was went to the mamas where they sell egg, meshai, where they use egg to sell noodles. I did a survey. I walked around as many streets in that neighborhood as I could. I got all the information. So I had a rough estimate of how many crates of eggs that the retailers were buying per week. That's what, from there, I did my calculation. That number of eggs was my target per week. It's not as simple or straightforward as I've said it, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to throw the mic open right now. We start talking. I'm going to bring up next the farmer boy. You requested to talk. What do you want to share with us? What's your experience like? What are the opportunities in your field of endeavor in agriculture, in agribusiness in Nigeria? Let's talk.
That may be. Let me just go straight to the point.
Yes, please.
Agribusiness in Nigeria. Basically, if you want to be sincere, we have to look at Nigerian peculiarities while we are discussing agriculture. What do I mean by Nigerian peculiarities is that majority of people who are into agriculture in Nigeria venture it because of poverty, and they see it as something they can do just to sustain themselves. And the trend is changing now. A lot of people are now seeing it as an opportunity where they can do business, make a lot of money. That as it may be, any policy or anything that we'll be doing in agriculture should be strictly divided into two. Either we like it or not, the local farmers in the village are the ones feeding this nation.
Okay, so
corporate farmers.
So let me ask you a question. You said you are in mechanization. What's your experience? How long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been doing agri for more than 10 years, but I started my mechanization company not up to 5 years. Let me just say 5 years or so.
Okay, beautiful. I want to ask you a question. What is your greatest challenge in working in that mechanization aspect? Because I guess from what you described, you help people to repair their equipment. What kind of equipment do you repair?
We repair all forms of agricultural equipment, starting from tractor to planter to sprayer.
Okay, stop there. Tractors. How do you get your spare parts for tractors? What's the greatest challenge in getting spare parts to maintain tractors for mechanization?
That is the hardest part of it.
Beautiful. Talk to us about it.
Well, there are parts for some specific tractors, like the like New Holland and Massey Ferguson. The New Holland Massey Ferguson, the parts are common when it is between 75 horsepower downward, but the moment it's going upward, the parts are not readily available. But most time, we compromise by converting the actual part to something else we can see here. That is what we do most time. But some other time we import.
Okay, so now
another thing is that it is hard to get genuine parts in Nigeria.
Why is that?
I don't know. Most parts are being brought by our people here go to China, copy it, then bring it back. Like you can buy hydraulic pump in a season, you can buy 10 of it. Whereas if you ask a farmer in Canada or something, they will be using a single pump for more than 10 years.
Wow. Okay. So let me ask you this question. Where your clients, where are they mostly from? What part of Nigeria are they mostly from?
I don't have, they are all over the country, but most especially from the north.
Okay.
Like Kaduna, Niger, and Nasarawa.
So you mentioned hydraulic pump, meaning you probably help people to do irrigation or get water to their farm.
No, hydraulic pump is like a system used for the steering instead of.
Oh, you are talking about tractors. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, now what is the greatest challenge that you have noticed when your clients or farmers try to mechanize? Are people willing to mechanize easily, and then are they able to afford it? What's the greatest problem you have observed as a mechanization expert trying to mechanize for farmers, especially in the north? What's the greatest challenge that a farmer usually has in mechanizing their farm?
Well, in the core north, we don't have much challenges because there are big farms you can work. But starting from Kwara downward here, the problem is that people are not really working on big hectares of land. So it is not easy taking tractor to 1 hectare, 2 hectare, 3 hectares of land.
Okay.
And basically, we are shifting our operations away from the 75 horsepower to something like 300 horsepower. And I will say it, I don't want to use, I think I'm one of the very few people that has the largest tractor horsepower in Nigeria now, because I have 300 horsepower, more than 5 of it.
Okay.
And these are tractors that can do 40 hectares in a day or even more.
Thank you very much, the farmer boy. Sorry, I'm going to have to call you the name that appears on the Twitter space, because it's going to be hard to keep track of people's real names. So I'll come back to you, but I want to bring somebody else up very quickly. This person is, interesting. I think she's in a peculiar field of agriculture. So, Agripreneur, that's what your name shows. Agripreneur Eti.
Thank you very much. Good evening, sir.
Oh, yes. Good evening, ma. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. So, my name is Eti Mbokimuk. I'm an agripreneur and into the cultivation, processing, and packaging of edible mushrooms. I run a farm called Eti Farms Global. So I'm very delighted to hear your background, that you're actually into, or you studied agric and have done a lot in this space. What you said is very true about, no matter how passionate you are about a particular thing, that is not enough. It's not enough reason to begin, or venture into any aspects of farming. A lot of people still are not aware of mushrooms, or that mushrooms are being cultivated here in Nigeria and all of that. I knew this was a challenge even before I started out to grow and process mushrooms. So because of this, I didn't just start the farm initially because I knew markets would be a problem. Even though back then a lot of people knew mushrooms, but with the new generation, it's in fact, if you ask 8 out of 10 people, they may not know what mushroom is or what it looks like. So after I learned how to, I studied agric, by the way, and after I went official to learn how to grow mushrooms, I decided to create the market for myself before starting my own farm.
Interesting.
So
How?
I have a mentor who grows mushrooms. So what I did was I got to her farm, took as many pictures as possible, as many videos as possible, and started posting and writing about mushrooms, writing about the health benefits of mushrooms. I did that for over 6 months.
Wow.
Writing about it, talking to, on my Instagram, on my WhatsApp status, on different platforms, on Twitter. And before I knew it, even people that were asking, Sha, I thought this thing is grass. Before you knew it, they were like, okay, let me just test. I'll just test and see, And being that I wasn't just talking about it, I was actually sharing meals and recipes on how to make sumptuous meals with mushrooms. People have the fear of poisonous varieties of mushrooms. So I'm not just telling you come and buy because I'm selling. I'm telling you come and buy because what I have is edible, is nutritious, and I'm showing you I'm eating it as well.
Beautiful.
So over time, people came around. And when I was sure enough that the awareness I was creating was generating impact and, people were coming around, I decided, okay, it's time for me to start my own farm. So that helps me not to fall into the trap of actually having my goods or my produce ready and the market was not ready for it.
Beautiful, Etty.
At some point, we're now having issues with, cancelled orders, postponed orders because we're not being able to meet up with the demand. And that is a very important thing for someone who either wants to come in or is planning to venture into any aspect of agribusiness.
So, Etty, let me ask you a question. Sorry to jump in there. Let me ask you a question. So you are doing something that is a bit novel in Nigeria, to the best of my knowledge. Mushrooms, cultivation, marketing, processing. It's not that popular yet. I mean, it's still kind of. So how are you surviving? How do you get enough clients to buy your mushrooms? Because I know your mushrooms will probably, there's a cycle. Once they mature, you have to harvest them. So how do you do that? Do you have enough customers?
Okay, so this is the interesting part. Marketing always wins, right? So there are a lot of people. In fact, our customer base now is more of people who have never even tasted. So we have people who are vegans and vegetarians who are a better part of our market. We also have we have elderly people who are looking to pivot to other sources of protein aside animal source of protein due to their health challenges and all of that. And we're just saying, hey, the need is there. You need this. You need an alternative to animal protein, and mushroom is that perfect thing for you. So the need is already in the market, but people are not aware. So what we simply do is tell them, this need you have, you feel it can only be substituted with snail or rabbit meat, but mushrooms can as well do even better because it doesn't have cholesterol and all of that. And it's surprising, it's always shocking to people how much that even up till now we can't meet up with demands.
Oh wow.
We are skeptical about going into supermarkets and more because we've tried them out. We tried them out in 2020 and it was a flop. Not because they didn't want the product, but because we couldn't keep up with the amount they were requesting for.
Wait.
So that is just the
slow down, Etty.
marketing.
Wait, slow down, Etty. I know you're excited. I'm excited too. But let me clarify something. Did you just say that you can't meet the demand of mushrooms in Nigeria?
Exactly.
Meaning there's opportunity for people to go into mushroom production.
Exactly. That is why we are trying as much as possible to train as many people as possible to join us. We even run off-taking programs for people we train.
Wow.
So that is how far it goes.
How much if you're going to upskill this mushroom, for example, I know you said you train people, but let me just ask you a simple question.
Sir.
What do you think can be done to increase further the demand? I know you are saying you can't meet the demand, but I'm not going to base it at that level to think, oh, the demand is just going to be infinite. No, I want to ask you from your experience. Now, you've said a lot of people are not aware about mushroom, and therefore the demand is overwhelming to you. From your farm alone, you can't meet up. Are there other mushroom farmers around you that you know of? Is there a network of mushroom farmers in Nigeria?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you do trainings for young ladies, young guys who want to go into mushrooms, or old guys, old ladies. You do trainings, right?
Yes, yeah. So currently we're running a sponsorship and training kind of program where we are soliciting for people to pay for people who cannot afford to be trained but want to be trained.
Let's go into specifics.
If you have the data of those.
Yeah. Okay, if you have the data, then you can do more. So let me go into specifics. Sorry, we have tons of people. I'm going to have to really caution myself. There's so many people that want to talk. Of course, now, guys, if you are listening, this is not a one-off thing. It's something I intend to do regularly. I've told you about my passion for agriculture. It's something I hold very dear to my heart, and I think Nigeria needs that, and we need to hold each other's hands up. Well, I'm not going to wait for any government or any politician to do anything. We have our own peculiar problems. So I want to ask you now, how much does it cost to set up a moderate-sized mushroom farm?
With 200,000 naira, you can start.
With 200,000 naira, you can start a decent mushroom farm. Where's your farm located, by the way?
Yes. Magboro, along Lagos Ibadan next.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So, how long does it take to complete the training? Like, what do you need to have in place? Like you said, training. Like, how many weeks? How many months? What do you need to,
So the beautiful part is we're actually currently running an online training, which comprises of videos. So you have real-time videos of each of the processes. The first batch we completed, the trainees have actually started practicing right from the comfort of their houses.
Okay.
Before, whilst they're gathering money to expand into a real proper farm.
Beautiful.
So the training is just a 2-day training.
Okay. So if I get you right,
and it has all the information.
So if I get you right, mushroom farming and marketing is lucrative, like you said. It is lucrative. With just about 200,000 naira, you can start a mushroom farm, and you can't meet demand in your own peculiar case right now. So there's opportunities. You want to share any challenges with us? What challenges do you think a new mushroom farmer might face, or that you are currently facing? Possibly there are people in the forum right now with us who have solutions to it. Let's hear you.
Yes. So one of the challenges we struggle with is logistics. A lot of people, what stands us out is fresh mushrooms, right? Because they are imported mushrooms, they are canned mushrooms, and all of that. But the freshness you get from fresh mushroom, people love it a lot. So having to move mushrooms products from one location to the other for those who have ordered, sometimes at the end of the day, it takes longer than it should. Working with outsourced logistics company, and maybe the mushrooms sometimes get to the clients bad or almost going bad and all of that. Sometimes we have to resupply, and so that is a challenge. That's logistics. The second challenge is around contamination. So because mushrooms are fungi, they are grown, it's an urban farm. So it's peculiar such that you need to be very careful when you're doing a whole lot of the process and all of that. And also the seed used in planting. If there is, because mushroom also has seeds which we used to grow them, it's called spawn. If the source from which the spawn was gotten is not reliable, you would encounter a lot of contamination. And this has happened to us because we do not produce the seeds ourselves. We have not gotten to the level where we're producing our seeds. That is also a next milestone we are working on, producing our seeds ourselves. So we are on top of the whole process, because that has cost us some monies in the past where we got seeds and they were not very reliable and we had to lose. We lost a lot.
And to meet the demand. That is good to hear. So sorry, Eti, just hang on there. Let me bring somebody else up very quickly. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Eti. Okay. The idea junkie. Let me bring you on and let's have your thoughts. What do you farm? What's your name? What do you farm? And what's your story and your experience? Idea Junkie, are you there? All right, guys. So we're going to be having this every now and then. I haven't decided. You guys tweet at me, send me a DM. Let's know how often you want this. Weekly, once in a month. Let's know. All right, Idea Junkie, the mic is yours. Talk to us. So, what's your name? What do you do?
Hi guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Loud and clear.
Oh, okay, great. My name is Jerry. I live in Jos. I have a strawberry farm.
Ooh, nice.
I have a strawberry farm and I have rabbits too. So I do rabbit farming and strawberries.
Beautiful. Two of my favorite things. Ah, man. So rabbit farming and strawberry. What's it like running? For how long have you been running this rabbit farm in Jos?
I have the rabbit farm 4 years now.
4 years.
I'm counting.
Beautiful. What about the strawberry farm? How long?
Strawberries, 6 years.
6 years of strawberry farming. Wow.
Yes, strawberries for 6 years. Yes. The thing about strawberries in Nigeria is that it grows effortlessly in a village called Shaha here in Plateau State.
Please say that again.
It doesn't grow.
Say that again.
Okay. It doesn't grow. I don't think it grows anywhere, like naturally grows anywhere in Nigeria except in Plateau.
Wow.
And on the Plateau, it doesn't grow in every local government except Jos South. And even in the Jos South, it grows only from a village called Shaha. So in the whole of the country, the strawberries grown in Nigeria is from this village.
Oh, wow. The people of Shaha are blessed. How do you spell Shaha, please, by the way? I'm going to do some research. I need to come visit one day.
Yeah, C-H-A.
What, again?
C-H-A-H-A.
C-H-A-H-A. Oh, Shaha.
Yeah.
Oh, it's C-H,
Yeah.
but you pronounce it Shaha. C-H-A-H-A. Shaha. Ah, okay. Beautiful. What's the market like? What's the business of strawberry farming like in Jos?
Strawberries, they are amazing fruits. Farming it has been very tremendous, I would say. Basically, we during the rains, it doesn't fruit during the rains. So after the rains, around October, November, it starts fruiting till June. Till the rains again. So it like fruits all through the year. It's tremendous demand. During like this period, as you guys are hearing this conversation, this particular period, we harvest every day.
What?
We harvest the entire farm the next day, and you harvest again.
Wait.
Like that. So
How big is your farm? How many hectares? How many plots? How many? What are we talking about?
I have 4 hectares.
4 hectares of.
4 hectares.
What? So
Yes.
what's your output like?
Even though-
Each.
Okay, we get it depends on so many factors, right? Sometimes when the rain falls, sometimes you just it just affects the fruiting. The strawberries don't like the rains, they don't like heat. So the cold and the chills make them fruit more. But we get about 100 kg virtually every day, from this particular. So sometimes what we do is that we do.
Hello, Jerry. Ideas Junkie. No, I need you back. No. You have to hit up with some of that. What is? Can you hear me, guys? Jerry? Oh my, Jerry, are you there? We didn't just lose you, did we? What's that? Shouldn't our internet be that now? Is that internet? Is that did your phone go off? Oh my, Jerry, you need to come back and tell us more of that strawberry goodness. Oh my. Okay, it's back. I think it's back. Jerry, are you there? You were talking to us about strawberry farming in Shaha in Jos. I'm really surprised to hear strawberries can only grow in a particular village in Jos. Huh?
Okay, it took me out of the network, took me out of the space, so I just came back in again.
No mind the network. No one will shop strawberry. We will shop that strawberry by force. Oh yeah, talk to us. So what you said your output is how many? About 100 kilograms?
Yeah, we harvest that. So what we do is that sometimes you don't harvest and stock. We don't stock strawberries because the shelf life of strawberry is just 3 days, 72 hours. So most times we harvest based on order. So we've never actually initiated like a whole, like harvesting the entire farm, when it's at the peak. So, but then what we do is that we harvest like 100 kg every day and try to distribute them to people who need them or who demanded for them.
What's the greatest challenge you have In
Security. We lost about 2 million just 2 months ago. Security has been the major challenge.
2 million, 2 million what? 2 million naira or 2 million strawberries?
No, 2 million naira. We lost. The Fulani herdsmen brought their cows and into the farm, and it consumed, the strawberries.
Oh, wow.
It hasn't been very easy,
So sorry about that.
No problem.
Wow. Security. We'll have to have another special episode where, guys, I'm going to try. I'm going to go all out for this. Guys, I see fantastic people in the forum listening. Tommy B, I see you. Steve Babeko, I see you. There are very wonderful people on this platform. Each and every one of you, I can call each one of your names. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I think we need to take this. I'm really gassed up right now. I think we need to take this and thrash out topics. So we're just going, this is the very first introduction. We're just going generally, what is agribusiness like? People that are on the farm. People used to say, real farmers are not on Twitter. Who told you? Somebody's outputting 100 kilos every day of fresh strawberries from a village in Jos, and you're telling me it's not on. Okay, now, there. So let's see what we can do to network. Now you guys have heard it. You can know how to. You can see his handle. You can follow him. Ask him more questions. I think we should do an episode on exotic fruits. Including strawberries. So now, what else do I want to ask you? So basically, for you, the challenge is the attack on the plants by the animals, the cattle.
Another challenge is transportation. People in Port Harcourt, before they get a strawberry, they must have been like 40% bad. Strawberry is 72 hours, doesn't like stress, doesn't like it. People in Lagos, we sell to people in Lagos via air. So imagine somebody in the island coming to Ikeja International Airport to pick strawberries. So the cost, by the time you transport like a carton of strawberries that contains 5 kilograms, the person will be spending, he would rather enter ShopRite and get it. Though our strawberries are sweet, they are not sour at all. So
wow.
Juices with them, the species is pretty, people taste our strawberries and they really enjoy it. And then we give, by the way, what we're planning, or what we started doing low scale, is agricultural tourism. So people can come, go to the farm, harvest themselves, and we'll give you a very amazing time in Jos Plateau State, where we have all kinds of vegetables.
Jerry, if you want to talk to me direct. Don't go around the corner. Just tell me I should come. I'm coming. I followed you. Follow back. Let's talk. Yeah.
Okay.
So you've talked about the opportunities in strawberry farming. Obviously, sounds like it's very lucrative, and you guys have your ducks in a row. You sell all the way to Port Harcourt. You sell to probably other parts of the country. Any part of the country. So apparently, what you're talking about is transportation and logistics. Now, what do you think can be done? I don't know. At this point, really, to be honest with you.
I think there's limited. There was one time I was looking for a cold van. Cold vans are very limited because you start looking. Okay, imagine you want 1 carton of strawberries. I can't get a cold van to pick 1 carton of strawberries. So sometimes we use immunization boxes since they can retain cold. The strawberries doesn't want heat. It can stay in the cold for a little longer. So what we do is instead of using those immunization boxes, and the immunization guys, when they knew that we are using these things, the prices just went up. So they started selling the boxes for 3,000, and the strawberry is 12,000. Then transport is how much?
Wait, Jerry, slow down. Slow down, Jerry. Okay. I'm giving you extra time because of my special bias for strawberry. Whatever platform I have to put your stories out, to put your success stories, your challenges, your concerns out, I'm going to do all I can. So, Jerry, thank you very much for that insight. You talked about logistics. Somebody probably is listening and thinking of solutions. Maybe somebody is connected to the government somewhere. I hate to talk about government at this point because really, if we have gone this far without a lot, we can go much further. But just very quickly, what does strawberry? Anyway, I don't even think that question is necessary. You said it grows best in only one particular village in Jos. Wow.
Except you have a greenhouse, then you can get the relative humidity, the whole conditions before you be able to do that. But effortlessly in Chaha, it just grows very well.
So your ROI on strawberry, can you give us a fair idea of what the return on investment is like? How soon can you start making your good returns? How long does it take? Just really summarize it in 1 minute.
Okay, the thing is, as far as strawberries, right? One bad news, I don't know if that's bad news, but then the village, Chaha, are very protective of their land, so they don't even give it out, you know, to any investor or anybody from outside. Now the thing is, the truth is that you can make back your money in that season. You know, you have a fruits that have fruits from October to like maybe May, June. That's a big time for you to make money. You just irrigate, you know, once a while. You have a water pump that goes through all of those trenches.
Beautiful. See, Jerry.
And then before I even finish, let me just add a little of this, just less than a minute.
Go ahead.
Okay, so because of the shelf life of strawberries, in 2000 I read industrial chemistry, my first degree.
Interesting.
Agric is a huge interest for me. So what I did was that I used the knowledge of chemistry to create an edible preservative for fruit and vegetables.
Whoa.
Now the idea was strawberries. I wanted them to last for long. So if I send them to a long distance, they would be able to stand. You know, but the experiment didn't work for strawberries, but they were able to keep tomatoes, orange, and apples for 40 days without refrigeration, ambient temperature, just room temperature. And all you have to do is an edible coating. I use plant materials to make that pigment. I was featured on CGTN once globally, and I probably haven't had enough funding for research and development because I wanted to preserve. The point is, rural farmers do tomatoes, and in a few weeks it's gone. If you can coat it, it will be able to stay for 40 days. Now the science is that the way we coat iron with paint, so that there won't be oxidation. Now the loss of nutrients, water from the plant, from the fruit to the atmosphere, and then oxidation of the surface of that fruit will make it stay for 40 days, and it won't get rotten or spoiled. So that is an innovation that is still in the shelf. I'm sure it's going to probably revolutionize the agricultural sector in Africa, not just Nigeria.
Jerry, let's talk about that. I'm very much interested in that. Let's talk about that. But I need to bring somebody else real quick. Like I said, we're going to have another session. You guys talk to me, send me DMs, tweet at me. How often do you think we should do this? This is the very maiden edition, talking about agribusiness in Nigeria. I've already told you guys, my background is in agriculture. I am passionate about agriculture. I didn't have a first and master's degree in agriculture just to let it lie fallow. Trust me, as much as I'm an actor and comedian and many other things, I'm a filmmaker, I love agriculture, I practice agriculture, and so I'm going to do all I can to make sure farmers in Nigeria, their voices are heard.